We begin tonight in Massachusetts, where the defense in Lindsay Clancy's murder trial rested its case. The 36-year-old has admitted to killing her 3 children in 2023, but Clancy has pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder because she says she was experiencing postpartum psychosis at the time. Jurors today heard from Dr. Philip Resnick. He's a forensic psychiatrist who was a key witness in the case against Andrea Yates, a mother who killed her 5 children in Texas in 2001. Dr. Resnick did a full evaluation of Clancy about 4 months after her 3 children were found dead in their home. He testified Clancy was, quote, frankly psychotic, and in his opinion was suffering from bipolar II and postpartum psychosis at the time of the killings.
She was hearing a voice which was commanding her to engage in the killing behavior, and she did not feel any sense of control. She felt that she had to obey the instructions she was receiving.
Well, the prosecution called another forensic psychiatrist back to the stand. Dr. Avram Mack interviewed Clancy in April. Dr. Mack testified he had no reason to believe Clancy was ever bipolar in a manic state.
I can appreciate that she felt side effects and a degree of change from the medications that she took. So I don't know that that feeling or that belief is necessarily psychotic.
More supporters of Lindsay Clancy gathered outside of the courtroom again today. Closing arguments are expected next week. CBS News correspondent Shanelle Kaul has been inside that courtroom. She joins us now. So, Shanelle, what else did we learn from the witnesses today?
Well, Lana, the big focus of today's testimony was on Lindsay Clancy's diagnosis. So before defense rested its case, you had them call their last witness, Dr. Philip Resnick, as you mentioned, a forensic psychiatrist who also testified in the Andrea Yates trials. And just as he did there, today he testified about his diagnosis on Lindsay Clancy, who, again, as you mentioned, he evaluated 4 months after January 2023 when she killed her 3 young children. And he testified today he found that she was experiencing postpartum psychosis during the time of those killings and thus should not be held criminally liable. Listen.
She had not only a command hallucination on the day that she killed her children, she had what is known as a delusion of influence. It was almost like she was a puppet and someone else was pulling the strings.
But then what happened after was really interesting, Lana, because you have this psychiatrist giving his diagnosis, and then defense rested its case. Prosecutors, as part of their rebuttal here, brought their own medical expert, their own forensic psychiatrist, who said, actually, I don't agree with that diagnosis. His diagnosis was that Lindsay Clancy was experiencing a major depressive episode, and he said he didn't find any evidence in this case to prove she was experiencing any kind of manic state when this happened.
Now, Shanelle, for those of us watching at home, we have no idea how jurors are responding to all of this testimony. You're there, though. What are you observing? Do you get a sense of how they're receiving this information that they're hearing from these 2 different psychiatrists?
Well, I will say it appeared as though many of the jurors today were making notes as we were hearing some of this testimony. And that makes sense, Lana, because this is probably the most critical testimony that they would have heard throughout the course of this trial. The crux of this case is what was Lindsay Clancy's state of mind when those 3 young children were killed. And that is what we saw the back and forth about from these 2 medical experts who were testifying today. I'll also note the courtroom was packed. There were members of the public who came here because they wanted to see what it was like inside court and hear testimony themselves. And there were so many members of the public, they actually all didn't make it inside. Many of them, I'll also note, were women, and a lot of them were wearing pink in some way, shape, or form. Some were wearing pink clothing. Others had their nails painted pink. They were wearing pink hair accessories, all to show support for Lindsay Clancy.
All right, Shanelle Kaul, thank you.